Hey guys, welcome back to week 3. A little change of scenery this week, mainly because I did want to show the ease of performing these workouts in the comfort of our own homes, driveways, front yards. So one thing I did want to touch on this week is proper warm-ups. As you guys have probably noticed, those of you that have been doing these workouts consistently each week, there's a layer of intensity that these workouts require that oftentimes we're not familiar with unless we've been doing these workouts for some time. So proper warm-ups are crucial. That may be as simple as, a light warm-up jog, some dynamic stretching, some static stretching. I can certainly do a video or answer some questions if you guys need some ideas, but please make sure that you're warming up appropriately before hitting these workouts. So I still went with writing these workouts just on some construction paper. So day 1 is a 3-round for time workout. You're going to do a 400-meter run, a 50-foot bear crawl, and 10 dumbbell clean and jerks. Intermediate, you're going to do the same 400-meter run for 3 rounds, 50-foot bear crawl, 10 clean and jerks, but just at a lighter weight. And then beginner requires no real weights. We'll talk about that in a second. 3 rounds for time, 250-meter run, 25-foot bear crawl, 10 ground to overhead. The running distance that you choose should probably take you about 2 minutes roughly. So once you come back from your run, the 50-foot bear crawl is just going to be hands and feet, and you're just going to go down for 50 feet or down for 25, turn around and down for 25. The dumbbell clean and jerks, if you opt for that version, it's going to be a set of dumbbells that start on the ground. You're going to step in between the dumbbells. You're going to bend down, and anytime that we're lifting external load off the ground, you want to make sure you have a nice flat back, good safe position. From here, you're going to jump the weight up to your shoulders and then overhead. And that's 1 rep. Back down. 2, 3, and so on all the way to 10. For the ground to overhead, you can use any object. You can use, let's see what I got back here. You can use like a medicine ball, ground to overhead, 2, and so on. You can use that backpack or the pellets that I've done in previous weeks. Really any household piece of equipment. For day 2, day 2 is 30, 20, 10 is the rep scheme of assault bike or a rower. We'll talk about options in a second. And pull-ups. So you're going to do 30 calories on the assault bike or the rowing machine, then 30 pull-ups. 20 calories, 20 pull-ups, 10 calories, 10 pull-ups. Intermediate, same rep scheme. Same thing with the assault bike or the rower, or really any piece of equipment. And then instead of unassisted pull-ups, you're just going to do banded or jumping pull-ups. I haven't installed a pull-up bar in my front yard yet. My wife hasn't given me that go-ahead. So I'm not going to demonstrate the pull-ups this time. Last week, you can refer to that video. I also have the YouTube link of a 30-second clip on the pull-ups and modifications, whether you do banding or jumping. Beginner version, we're knocking down some of the volume here. So you're going to do 20, 10, and 5 reps of mountain climbers or lateral hops and bent over row. So really, you can do any piece of equipment. And what I would like you to do is a stationary cardio piece of equipment or opt for the mountain climbers or lateral hops. Day 3, you'll see that we have a lot of running. So hold off on the running on day 2. The mountain climbers and the lateral hops. We've done mountain climbers before. If you opt for the lateral hop version, you can use a dumbbell or again, any piece of equipment. And you can hop 1, 2, 3. Notice there and back was 1 rep. If that's too much, you can count a rep each time you hop over. The bent over rows, if you have a dumbbell, you can certainly use that. Or once again, guys, any piece of household equipment. The bent over row, I showed these last week, I believe, or maybe week 1. Bend over, nice flat back position. You're gonna pull weight up to your torso and back down. If you got a set of lighter dumbbells, you could do both dumbbells simultaneous. So we're still benefiting from the pull motion, just not from a pull-up bar. Okay, day three. Day three is a fun one. We have 2 rounds for time. Advanced, intermediate, and beginner. It's all 2 rounds. Advanced, you're gonna do 50 goblet squats, 800-meter run. That's a half a mile. So that should take about 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes. Come back, 50 dumbbell lunge steps, another 800-meter run. So it's already a mile in round 1, and then 10 wall walks. Same thing here, we're just knocking down some reps for intermediate. 40 dumbbell goblet squats, less weight. 600-meter run, so a little bit shorter distance, again aiming for about that 3-minute range. 40 dumbbell steps, another 600-meter run, and then 10 wall planks rather than the wall walks. A little modification here that I'll show you in a second. Beginner, 2 rounds, you're gonna do 30 air squats, 400-meter run, 30 body weight lunge steps, 400-meter run, and then 10 shoulder taps. So let's talk about the lunges, or actually the goblet squats. So you can hold any external load here in the front rack all the way down and stand up for 50 reps if you're doing in advance. Then you go out on your run. You come back with that same dumbbell. You're gonna do 50 lunge steps. Down, touch the knee lightly, stand up, down, stand up. Anytime you're holding this external load in the lunge, really focus on keeping your torso up. What you don't want to happen is drop the torso and stand up that way. That's a lot of pressure on the lower back, can lead to injury or fatigue. If you can, do forward steps. So as opposed to just stationary, alternating, I'd like you guys for this one, if you can, if you have the room, do 25 down, 25 back, or whatever version you're doing. The wall walks, just find a wall, nice high wall. You're gonna start perpendicular to the wall, lying down bottom of a push-up, and then you're gonna push all the way up. You're gonna walk your feet up, walk your hands back, right there. And that's 1 rep. Those ones are fun. When you go all the way up, focus on your back position. You don't want to be hyperextended. A term I use is nose and toes to the wall. So all the way vertical, and then slowly and controlled, walk your way down to the bottom of a push-up, and that's gonna be 1 rep. So you do that for 10 times. The wall plank, you're just gonna be facing the wall the other direction, and you're gonna take 1 hand at a time, up to a plank position, back down. That's 1. Alternate. That's 2. And so on, all the way till you get to 10. And then finally the shoulder taps. If that one's too advanced, shoulder taps, perfectly fine. 1, 2, 3, all the way to 10. Once again, guys, the run distance that you choose should be about 3 minutes plus or minus at a good moderate pace. So if 800 meters is taking you 3 minutes, or if it's taking you 5 minutes, too much. We want to aim for that 3-minute range. Day 4 is our rest day. Like I said last week, doesn't have to be on Thursday, the 4th day of the week. It really should just be probably that 4th workout day, whatever day you're on. I would suggest stretching. Do some mobility, do some stretching, yoga. We talked about that. Go on a light jog or a walk the dog around the neighborhood. But do remember, rest days are extremely important to maximize recovery. So we're avoiding injury, we're avoiding overtraining, fatigue that will lead to injury, and then we're also maximizing our intensity for those days that we're working out. This week's challenge that I have for you guys is to write down a food log for at least 1 day. So you're gonna write down everything you eat from the moment you wake up until you go to bed. As with anything, when we're trying to make a change or we have goals, we have to have a starting point. And even those that probably eat pretty healthy, it's really eye-opening when you actually write everything down And then with that, what I'd like to offer is if you guys would like to send it to me, I'm happy to look through it and give you a little bit of feedback if you want. No pressure. Day 5, final day of the week. This one's a fun one. This is our first partner workout. So this is gonna be really cool for the community that we built here. I'd like you guys to find a partner. This could be a family member. Certainly doesn't have to be someone that's already involved in this group. But let's make this fun. Let's motivate each other, keep each other accountable. So with a partner, 50 rounds for time. That actually is not a typo. 50 rounds for time of 5 air squats, 6 jumping lunges, and 7 push-ups. So what it is 25 rounds per person. So partner 1 is going to go through all 5 air squats, all 6 jumping lunges, all 7 push-ups, and then they're going to rest while partner 2 does their round. And you go back and forth and you accumulate 50 rounds total as a team. Intermediate, we're just knocking down a little bit of the volume. So instead of doing 50 rounds, you're doing 40 rounds as a team, 20 each. Same rep scheme, 5 squats, 6 jumping lunges, 7 push-ups. Finally, beginner is 30 rounds for time. So once again, the volume, but we're also knocking down some reps here. So 30 rounds for time of 3 air squats, 4 alternating lunges. So we're taking away that jump. If that's a little bit tough or too much pressure on the joints, you could just do alternating lunges, and then 5 push-ups from the knees. So for this one, you probably want to pick a softer surface if you have grass or something like that, or maybe wear some knee pads. But partner 1 is going to go through 5 air squats all the way down, stand all the way back up. Remember, with our air squat, we stay in the heels. We sit back and down until our hip crease gets below the top of the knee, and then we stand up. Once I finish those 5, I go right into my jumping lunges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I drop down for my push-ups. All the way down, 1, 2, 3, all the way to 7. Once I get to 7, my round is done. My partner should already be moving. So real fast transitions on this one. Knee push-ups for beginner. Here, down, all the way up. We modify the movement to obtain full range of motion. So I don't want you guys scaling the range of motion if going from the toes is too hard. So again, guys, find a partner for this one. Make this one fun. Let's keep the energy up this week, and I look forward to catching up with you guys. Thanks a lot.